Hello and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the European Challenger Cup. We've got our third match underway. Team Illusion versus WootNCroco. WootNCroco actually played fantastically last week, coming a little bit out of the nowhere, and doing rather well against some of the higher-seeded teams. We do see that Arachne ban and the Mercury ban, which are pretty... The Mercury ban is standard. Arachne... I like the Arachne ban. We'll talk a little bit more about Arachne now that we have Raffer here in chat. And Odin's going to be banned along with Jean Quay. First pick looking like Nuwa. Now, Arachne is a character. She actually did play solo lane in the first match that we saw, but we'll ignore that. I feel like Arachne belongs in the jungle, Raffer. As a jungler, how do you feel about that?
Oh yeah, she's almost definitely a jungler, but
yeah.
I do not respect the Arachne ban, honestly. I think you should ban gods such as Jeb unless you're going to first pick him, because he bring, like, you just compare the two gods. What does Jeb bring to a team fight and what does Arachne bring to a team fight?
Exactly. Arachne is a one-dimensional character. She's out there for kills, and that's about it. And as you mentioned, Geb he's got the shield, which is not just health, it's not just preventative health, but it's also CC immunity, it's CC peel, he's got a stun. You're 100% right. What Geb brings to the table is much more. Curious that Geb made it to the second round of picks. WootNCroco choosing to go Thor Ra instead of Geb right there.
That. I love it, dude. Thor and Ra, such an ultimate combo. The amount they bring to jungle fights and mid harpies, it's insane, honestly. And then with an Athena ult on top of the Thor, it's yeah. See you later, guys. Nice knowing you.
I do love seeing the Thor Ra pick for the team with second pick. We actually see this a lot. I don't have statistics on it, but we see this a lot in the SPL. I believe that your team likes to pick Thor Ra. We see a lot of American teams do that as well as a second pick. But with Geb on the table, would you have picked Geb in place of Thor Ra?
That is a really, really hard situation to deal with, because you've got Thor and Ra on the table, but Jeb... He can counter gank so hard with that shield, blink, ultimate, knock up. It's insane, dude. And then you've got the Thor ultimate on top of it, new ult too. So she has a few seconds of an escape, and an ultimate that does 3k damage. That's all I'm gonna say.
There is that. Honor going to be picked up for WootNCroco after the Troll Anubis hover that will never, ever, ever trick us ever again, unless it's NQ.
Was that a call out to me?
No.
Was that a call out to me? Am I gonna have to go Anubis jungle now?
So blink Anubis jungle, there's a lot of downsides to it, but if you're looking for a character that can delete people, I have been trying to get blink Anubis jungle to happen.
No blink.
No blink, really?
Come on, dude. Go all the way. No need for blink. As long as you got perfect positioning, you don't need the blink. Get the beads and possibly Heavenly Agility. If you want some sort of escape, Heavenly Agility, so you bring more. So you're not just the character that deletes people, you can be a team player too.
Interesting. How viable would you say that is?
It's not.
I didn't think
it's a dream. It's a dream.
But actually, let's talk about this Arachne. We mentioned that we didn't like the ban just because we wanted something that brings more to the table, so to speak. So Arachne, have you played her? What do you feel about her? Are you afraid of her?
I'm not afraid of her.
Well, you're not afraid of anything, but
no.
As a jungler, do you see yourself playing Arachne? Do you like the kit? Do you think it's effective?
It's a really effective kit. I don't know, with Arachne it's so hard, honestly, because she's such a broken god, but she doesn't bring much to team fights, so you're sacrificing that if you pick her, so you need to capitalize on taking the jungle and forcing them into picks.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you have to do if you're picking Arachne.
Yeah, the amount of damage on that character is insane, but it's a one-on-one character. You're not really gonna function well in a group of people like you would a Thor or a Nemesis or even a Freya, who can get away with Valkyrie's discretion and a good multiple person lift. The Cirquette ban is going to be interesting as well for WootNCroco. Now that the character's been fixed, she's sort of back to her top pick, despite the nerf to Ambush. Still a very strong pick, but Team Illusion and WootNCroco have finalized their drafts. We're going to see Thor, Ra, Athena, Anher, and Scylla for the team on the right, Nuwa, Geb, Apollo, Agni, and Hun Bats for Team Illusion. Stay tuned. We're going to get into the action just very soon. This is the round of 8 in Week 5, European Challenger Cup. Hello, everybody, and welcome to our, we're in the round of 8 right now. Team Illusion versus WootNCroco. Team Illusion will be on the left side in the blue. WootNCroco will represent the red side, the Chaos side on the right. WootNCroco being made up by MJK, LOL, Mugiwawa, Shotgun Smash, Tetrix, and Decast. Mugiwawa is a character that we've seen in and out of the quasi-competitive scene for a long time now. A good support player, and the team around him is fantastic. Shotgun Smash made a lot of interesting plays the last time we saw him, but the plays wound up converting well, and eventually his team wound up placing extremely well last weekend. Team Illusion will be made up by Kazpu on the Hun Bats, Gmork, and Kirko will make up the long lane, while Resu and Zatarino make up that middle and solo lane. Got about 30 seconds before the game just starts, so what are your predictions here for the jungle role here, Rafa? You got a Thor versus the enemy Hun Bats. How do you go about this? Do you avoid the Hun Bats as a Thor? Do you go head in, or do you just sort of gank the lanes and hope he doesn't show up?
He can go in. Just look at the comp. You've got a Thor ultimate into a Scylla ult and 2, and you've got the Ra snipe, the Ra beam. You can keep ganking, and you've got the Ra sustain too, so even if he takes a bit of damage in the gank, put the Ra heal up, no problem, good as new.
And that's exactly what we're going to see a lot of. This Ra has just, so do you think Ra is balanced?
that is such a hard question, because he is balanced, like, when you keep him under control, but when he spirals out of control, he's not balanced. But that's with any god.
Exactly.
Any god can do that.
But
the fact that he can keep his minion wave healthy and keep pushing, it just puts so much poke onto the other laner.
Yeah,
and it makes him vulnerable to ganks if you put him in that position.
And that's one of the bigger things that come out from Ra. It's why we see Ra transition back into the middle lane here. For a while there, he was traditionally just a solo laner, but here of late, we've seen middle laners pick him back up. Used to be just MLC Stealth of Cognitive Prime that really opted to put that mid lane Ra under control, and that was really just because him and Omega have interchangeable god pools and would do cheeky things like that. And here we just see Ra returning to the middle lane, being played as less of the support mage and more of that damage mage, and it's just so dangerous. Team Illusion in the duo lane, pushing up on WootNCroco very hard. About half HP for both members of the red team health bar, while Team Illusion sitting nice and pretty. Junglers have left their solo lane and will hit the back harpies. So this is something that we see a lot. Junglers will join the solo lane. This is standard because you need a level or two before you go ahead and before you go ahead and farm your own jungle. Are there a lot of times we see different strategies coming out from the junglers? Either we see directly go to the mid lane to leech a wave. We see what we see in this match very quickly, where the junglers go directly to the camps. What's the situation there? What changes your mind to gank middle lane or just farm up?
Cooldowns. Cooldowns on your skills is the decision on whether to gank, and the cooldowns on the other laners' skills. So say if the Agni used his dash, and the Ra communicates with the Thor saying his dash is down. If you ultimate in the next 5 seconds, I can ult him. I know he's not 5 yet, but when he dinks level 5, I could say, I'm going to be 5 at the next creep wave, hit your ultimate, and I'll ultimate him. It's just, communication is the key to being a good jungler.
Yeah, communication is just so big in all of Smite. That's really what separates, that's why we talk about this large gap between competitive and ranked. We saw Naw come out for Dignitas in the North American SPL, and he was a ranked player, and basically just a ranked player, and it took him a week to transition, and a lot of other stuff to transition with that team, but now has found his role, found his niche, and doing very well. Hold that thought real quick as we see the jungler go up in the air, shocking smash, gonna smash down on the Ra.
See what I mean?
That's exactly what he's talking about. Ult into ult, and with the Ra, it's sort of like we see the same thing coming out from SK, not at the regional LAN, Thanatos into Ra ult. And that was devastating. It's the exact same situation, just Thor, which is a little more universal of a good character.
What I would have liked to see from the blue team in this game is the Jeb stealing the back harpies, because they had so much pressure early game, and it would have taken Thor's farm, so Thor wouldn't have got 5 as quick as he did. So that ultimately might have stopped what happened mid, just off taking them back harpies. So it's a knock-on effect. You don't do one thing and it goes into something bad.
A lot of dominoes in the game of Smite, especially with that communication we were talking about earlier. What's the biggest difference between the solo queue and the competitive scene? A lot of times we see the multiple person invade onto a specific buff. That I feel like is the most basic difference in team play. Is there any real tenement that you can tell that a team is practicing on comms versus a solo queue?
Yeah, I'm gonna keep bashing at this, so a lot of people in chat can hear it, you know, and just try and capitalize on this. But communication is Smite. You could be the worst player in the world, you could miss half your ultimates, but as long as you call them, you're hitting half of them. That's getting half of the Ra snipes onto it. So you say, okay, I'm gonna ultimate mid, get ready to ult him, and you miss. Ra misses his ultimate, you've missed one. Do it again in 90 seconds, try again. Even if you're the worst player, you can still successfully do it by just using communication.
Yeah, communication can close most gaps. Speaking of gaps, Kurko gonna dash in, but a good shield coming out from Geb will get rid of the knockback stun coming out from that on her. Honor is a character we see a lot in Europe. We see a lot of him in the European SPL, and you know, not so much in North America. Do you get a chance to watch some of the North American SPL?
Oh yeah, I've got a lot of friends in the NA scene, so I'm constantly watching it and talking to them. I join the TS and speak to them after games, etc., after my games, and discuss stuff.
So what do you think is the main difference? Because it's not just the SPL. In the Challenger Cup scene as well, we see on her frequently come out for the European teams.
Gank right lane.
Thor coming down. He's going to be all right.
That's a guaranteed Tiller ult. Oh no, the Aegis! That was MLG, dude.
That was a really good play coming out from Zatarino. Just Aegis right on time. Honestly, Shock and Smash and MJK did that perfectly. Zatarino just did it a little bit better. And the re-engage is good. The kill will go to Shock and Smash. That is second blood overall. Zatarino falls down in the solo lane. Fantastic play by Shock and Smash.
If that Agni was on point then, that was guaranteed counter gank. He would have got a double kill off that.
The double kill? Even
yeah,
on the Scylla?
Yeah, I think he would have got a double kill because they committed to that kill then.
They committed very hard, and committing to these middle camps as well. They're going to go ahead and be able to pick them up, pushing them further in the lead. Eclipse almost approaching that 1,000 gold mark, which means so much in the sub 10-minute game. Once you reach 1,000 gold, it's not really much to talk about as the game gets later and later, but 6 minutes in, you're sitting at 950 gold. You can start to feel the difference, and Kurko's well aware, and he wants to stop this where it stands. Shock and Smash getting knocked up and taking damage. Great coming out from Resu, going to hit the damage onto the enemy jungler, and Geb really doing his job of controlling the situation. Mugiwawa very, very deep, going to taunt into the shield wall, and the on her ultimate, but the Celestial Beam's going to miss the Geb. He's going to be able to get out. Here comes Hood. Fantastic ultimate. That's why you draft the monkey himself. You spread out the counter gank, and down goes Dekes is going to find his way out.
Misplay.
That's speed of light.
She should have been dead. But yeah. Safina's putting himself in a bad position. Perfect jab shield. Oh my god, he's stunned in mid-dash. He should be dead.
Looking for the hit.
But Thor's come back. I knew it.
That's
I knew it.
Up.
Hit 3 people.
Thor's
they should have dropped that kill. They should have dropped that kill and left it to New Eyes. Then that communication would have saved that whole team fight. They've got triple killed for that.
And Resu gonna die as well, so Shock and Smash.
So that's 3 kills. 3 kills for bad communication. It's really unfortunate, but it can happen to anyone, honestly.
I mean, this Thor, we talked a little bit about him. Shock and Smash, able to do so much with this character, and we're seeing that here. I really like the decision of him in the solo lane to re-engage after, because as I said, we started to talk about how the the Thor gank into the solo lane from Scylla. They played that perfectly, but the Aegis was just on point, and he chose to re-engage, not really afraid of that. And then, again, what we just saw in the back jungle for WootNCroco, he ulted right there, knew what was going on, and made sure to get the triple stun. This Thor is playing very well.
That was a perfect ultimate, but you know, it was a misplay from Blue Team. They allowed him to do that. Communication would have saved him, and it would have got the kill with Nua. Nua should have been, guys, retreat, 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 and they shouldn't question that. You should just get back, let Nua ult. Easy, easy.
That's what Nua does. The global damage. You gotta look for those kill secures coming out for when you have that Nua. So when you have a Nua on your team, do you play differently, knowing that you don't have to kill people?
Yeah, I mean, that's the difference. When you're committing to a kill where you feel you have to kill.
Hold on, Thor in the back line trying to invade. Not going to land on anybody, just pushing out. They're not even going to take the red buff. They're just going to push out. So yeah. Actually, looking at the solo lane, but here comes the rotation from Team Illusion, dunking down on the Thor. Thor's safe still. Now there's 5 members of Team Illusion over here. There's a lot of WootNCroco as well, and on her not really in any position to solo this Gold Fury just yet, but that's a large rotation, and Shock and Smash is making things happen. Croco falls down to the Thor. More damage coming out. Zatterino forced into the ultimate. Apollo will fall as well for Team Illusion. That's going to be a 1-for-1 trade at the moment. But here comes Caspu. Gab cutting the shield, and good ultimate coming out from the Monkey. Snipe is offline from Dekest. And that's going to go ahead and be a 1-for-2 trade, going the way of Team Illusion. So that 1,000 gold lead by WootNCroco will be shortened a little bit, and all the while, On Her quietly picks up a tower in the left lane. So that'll fix that lead one more time, 1,500 gold. I love the decision for On Her not to rotate. When you see the Apollo, you can't keep up with it. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Do you know what would have saved that whole thing? Is On Her say, guys, just don't fight.
Yep.
Apollo's rotated, he's used his cooldowns, just play passive. If he can't kill you, they've got no kill potential now. So just play passive, I'll push, they'll lose the XP from this duo lane and middle, because the middle rotated, so just keep playing passive. Unless they're forcing a gold, you just have to play passive, that's it.
There's no reason to fight if you're not gonna. If the enemy wants to fight you for no reason, let them, because there's nothing to gain, right?
Exactly, it's experience that's the key. You could be, let's say 6k gold ahead, but even in XP, and you can still win fights from positioning alone.
And that's exactly what we just saw on this Gold Fury attempt. WootNCroco pulled the Gold Fury, had it to about 50%, and they saw Apollo just show his face. Didn't have to press a single button. Just the intimidation factor, knowing that Geb was coming down and rotating around, and Geb does have that Hand of the Gods 3, so able to really secure those objectives at a moment's notice, and just really forced off the Gold Fury. Right now, WootNCroco trying to make, this is beautiful, they're trying to make the play. They're baiting this. They're sitting here, they're faking the kill, they're faking the Gold Fury attempt, and there goes up in the air, Shock and Smash. Tons of damage onto Gamork, and Detest actually just removes him from the battlefield. That's going to be the end of the Hog 3 for Team Illusion. WootNCroco free to push on this. Team Illusion's going to fight, and I think WootNCroco's okay with this. Mugiwawa taking a lot of damage. Gold Fury goes down to the red team, the team that engaged, but Resu picking up a kill. Tetrix evens it out by killing him back. It's a 1-for-1 trade, but the Gold Fury has gone the way of WootNCroco. Look at the gold. That's 3,000 gold in the lead at 12 minutes, despite only being up 2 kills. So good farming, good objectives, and good decision-making after the kills are really what's putting WootNCroco where they're at right now.
I really didn't like the red team's decision then to go all in on the gold, because you have to look in solo lane. You're against the Nua, and the whole team's rotating to you at gold. They should have been punished a lot more for that.
Yeah, I liked the decision before they went in.
Yeah, that was excellent. Fury. Yeah, that was a perfect decision, and they went on a jab too, so that gets the team scared. They're like, oh my god, our support's died with Hog 3, we're going to have to defend the gold, and then bait into another fight. Don't do the gold, bait into a fight.
I love that decision. We see that a lot. What I really liked last week, there was a new WoW player. Unfortunately, I apologize, I can't remember who it was. Nua kept releasing minions onto the Gold Fury. So the Gold Fury was actually fighting something, and time again the enemy team would come and engage, and they would just get wrecked because they were tricked. They would see the Gold Fury through the wall and think he was fighting, but it was just killing Nuwa minions. I loved it.
That was a misplay. Did you see that in the solo lane?
In the solo lane. Yeah, he just dropped that kill.
They know the Athena ult's down and the 4 ultimate's down too, so... But they can't do anything from it. The best thing they could do at this point is go all in on the speed buff. Go all in on the speed buff, force a fight if they contest.
It's not a bad plan. Not a bad plan at all. Mid camps will be spawning soon. 13 minutes in, you still want to pay a little bit of attention to that, so WootNCroco will find themselves over on the left-hand side. Ross should pick these up for free. No real contestation coming out right there, so...
They really lost out then, blue team, because they see the Athena, they know her ultimate's down, she's only got a dash, and there was a Humbat, Jeb, and Agni, and they could have nuked down the Athena before she can dash out. Or no, sorry, they wouldn't have been able to nuke it before, but they would have been able to block the dash anyway.
Yeah, I mean, Athena, not very tanky at all. 100 health and 20 physical protection from the Iron Man, which will turn into eventually the Sovereignty. You get 100 HP from Watcher's Gift, if I'm not mistaken, so a little bit more tankiness, but she's not a Ymir. Athena does not have the intense base stats, so you can really melt that Athena, and as you said, you can just stand in front of the dash, so not a big deal. Right inside, we see a big shade by WootNCroco, 3 members deep in the solo lane, and Hunbat's here defending. He's gonna push off the tower. He doesn't want to lose any golds, but Shock and Smash gonna hide in the blue buff.
Yeah, and unnecessary ult.
Yeah, Hunbat's is dead. He's not even gonna hit the ult. But he will get ulted back. Hunbat's can turn on this. Shock and Smash gonna miss the Berserker Barrage and the Hammer. Kev gets the
if he survives this
in the duo lane, and Kazpoo gonna jump over the wall. That
he survived.
Shock and Smash just
that was a misplay.
Sometimes, so see, that's the beauty of our game as we take a look at the long lane. Dekes gets a kill out of the middle. Kurko trades it back. That's going to be a 1-for-1 in that long lane. But the bigger picture here is WootNCroco have 4 dead. Team Illusion only have 1 dead. They'll push on this tower. They'll get Team Illusion will get this tower in the left-hand lane, and that is a big win for blue team that was trailing so much before. Shot up, and the game is tied. And actually, Team Illusion's leading by 2,000 experience after that fight.
I love Apollo's decision. Like he's checked for buffs, and now he's stealing the red buff to take that away from the enemy jungler. So he's essentially taking away experience. The gold doesn't really matter, but the experience—that's the killer.
Exactly, and you see the second tier tower. You're not going to be able to push that up really safely. You know Athena's coming. You can get that red buff before you can get the tower, or even another wave of farm. So I too love that play. And Team Illusion actually, like we said, coming back into this game. WootNCroco early on had an early lead, and Team Illusion in the 16th minute, or the 15th minute, my mistake, had just won that team fight in the left-hand lane. Meanwhile, the solo lane tower for Scylla just barely alive. A single basic will take that down.
Blue team needs to keep forcing fights. The more they force fights, the harder it's going to be for Scylla and Ra to get online, because let's be honest, they are really, really strong late game. Yeah. Red team will win if it gets to late game. Blue team has a really, really, really strong early team, so they should be capitalizing on this early play.
So when you have a team, when you draft a team and you realize that they're good early, how does that impact what you do? Do you try to get more Gold Furies, or how do you play when you draft a specifically powerful team early?
You have to play if you end up drafting an early team. You have to play for the early game.
Hold that thought. Shock and Smash try and take number 2. Lands on Gamork and they'll hit him, but that is Gab level 12, and well, he's a little bit tankier this time. Finish on the Sovereignty for the blue team. Great taunt coming out from Mugiwawa, but not enough follow-up. Too much spacing from WootNCroco. That's more spacing deliberately by the Hunbats this time. 2 hits onto the Scylla ultimate, and she will go ahead, pick up the kill onto Resu. Kazpoo making his way out, hiding around the corner. Nuwa's in the air, gonna finish off Shock and Smash, while MJK LOL picks up the triple. This is Scylla damage. Not able to get any more. Kazpoo retreating and actually clean his buff up when relinquished his Gold Fury to WootNCroco. That's one of those things where WootNCroco Gold Fury's up. They don't really want to waste their time killing that Hunbats because they want the objective right there.
I love that Hunbats. Use this one to escape into the jungle, and he's like, they won't follow me, they'll go for gold. I won't be able to defend it, let's just take my speed buff.
Exactly, and as a jungler, speed buff is life, right?
Speed buff is the best thing in the game. It's better than FG. It is. It's better than FG.
It's a very common opinion right here in the Salt Squad, as we call our Challenger Cup broadcast team. Speed buff is love, speed buff is life, and I too understand that on Bats' decision to pick up the speed buff and let gold fall. After that gold falling, we're going to see WootNCroco pick up the lead one more time. 22:06 is the lead exactly. Experience about even, and wow, if you take a look at these graphs, folks at home, they are very jagged up and down plays coming out from both teams, and just interesting to see who will win each team fight. We have the Thor ultimate, which when it works has been fantastic, but the last two engagements we haven't seen the mechanics come out from Thor. We saw him die in solo lane just due to missed abilities, which is the beauty of our game Smite, and he chose the wrong target, ulting on that Geb, and allowed Team Illusion to turn completely around because Anvil of Dawn just wasn't available. So Thor needs to pick his fights a little bit more carefully. He's 5-3-5, but that should be a little bit better if he had nailed all of his stuff. So as the game progresses, we should see a little bit more attention to detail coming out from the jungler for WootNCroco.
I love the zoning that's going on with his on her. He's completely zoning out this Apollo to make sure he doesn't get any of the experience. Not anymore, but I think he missed, like, it must have been a whole wave.
Yeah, I mean, you can just take a look at the wave for WootNCroco. He's got 2 gladiator minions, 4 melee minions, and then 3 archers. That is a very, very big wave, especially in comparison to this wave over here from Apollo, just a standard 6. Level 16 and 16 says this is a nice hunter duel, should they choose to do so, but Apollo's going to go ahead and relinquish this fight, walk away into the jungle, and wait. He's going to wait around the corner, get the basic, just tooling around with each other while the rest of the team fights over this tier 1 in mid lane. We see this 3v3 joust situation so often. Solo or mid, support, and jungle come here. When we see this a lot, and it's always a stalemate. Is the decision to stay here until the enemy leaves, or do you always have a play that doesn't come out? Because we see this all the time, 3-on-3 in the middle lane with no product.
I'm not sure. It's a bit random when you think about it. Why you just stood at a tower? It's like you're laning with 3 people. You need to drop it and take the jungle, but there's going to be action in the left lane here, I think. Oh, they're dropping it.
Yeah, they're going to go ahead and drop that blue buff. Don't really want to fight over it. But we see this all the time, not just in Challenger. We see it in the SPL as well. Tetrix? Not going to get the stun, and if you miss the stun, he's going to run, so no big deal right there. But we see this in the SPL too. Maybe you don't even realize that you guys do this. The middle lane is there, so support comes over to support, and jungler winds up there, so the enemy team has to match that as tier 1 falls on the center lane, and nothing happens. It's just a game of chicken. It's
the best thing to do at this point is go to the if you want to force the fight. I don't think red team should. They should go for late game. But if you want to force the fight, just get a counter ward and zone them. The FGA, so they don't know what's happening. So they'll have to either 1 commit to it, or 2 try and pick someone.
And one more time, Shotgun Smash lands with Anvil of Dawn onto Gamork. That ultimate looked like a satellite ultimate more than anything. I like to use that term, meaning Thor went into the air to get vision on everybody. Really wasn't sure where the enemy was. Thought that there might be a play in middle lane. Go up, realize that, well, nobody's in my range. I guess I'll stun the Geb. But that's the second time in a row he's used Anvil of Dawn on the Geb, and to no avail, and not really building anything too exciting. He's got that Jotun's Wrath, but no more CDR than that, so Anvil of Dawn will be on cooldown for another 30 seconds, and that could be better used somewhere else.
That's true. I think he has to ultimate the Jeb though, because if he tries doing his combo onto someone else, the Jeb's just going to shield them. I've seen the Jeb save multiple people in this game alone. Oh yeah, that CC immunity is... I mean, personally, I think Geb is one of the best characters in the game, if not the best character in the game, because of how dynamic the ultimate initiation can be, but more importantly, the shield. Health is nice. It's nice to get an artificial heal, but CC removal is insane. Here's a question. Sylvanas or Jeb?
Jeb. I feel like, and actually, this is a very interesting conversation as Gold Fury lines up. Red team right here, WootNCroco. This is, we always talk about this. the specific timing, able to pick up this gold for you because they know not just the timing on the map, but the exact second mark. Good pillar coming out from on her, and that should be the gold for you for them with no contestation. There's no vision here, folks. Actually, they're standing next to a blue ward, but the team doesn't really want anything, any part of this, I suppose. But
no, they just need to drop that. Unless they're going to commit fully to the fight, they need to drop it.
Right. So, do you like Sylvanas?
I've not played much, but I'm excited to see what he brings to the competitive scene.
Fight in the middle lane, shotgun smash one more time, landing on that Geb. Now it's conscious effort to hit the Geb because of what you just said. Fantastic ultimate coming out from the Ra, and shotgun smash will finish that off in the front. 3-on-2 in the middle lane. Mugiwawa trying to get a taunt out, but over the wall goes the monkey as Rezu picks up shotgun smash, finding himself so deep behind enemy lines. 13-13 are the kills. We're even right now in this fight. We're even in this game overall, 52-57. So the gold tells a different tale, and WootNCroco are going to play their lead powerfully. Going to march down this middle lane, opt to turn around and back because Mugiwawa, their initiator, is a little bit low. They'll pick up these mid harpies and go on their way. But Sylvanas has a lot of control, Raffer. I just feel like, well, I feel like Thor would just ruin his day. There's really no escape there. There's no escape and there's no damage to kill harpies by himself. Those two things make me a little hesitant to say Sylvanas will be great in competitive play.
He's a CC machine.
Yes,
he hit you 1 into 3 into ult into a route on his passive. You may as well just go AFK if he grabs you.
Basically, I feel like Sylvanas is going to dominate the lane, but post lane phase, or basically what I feel like is Sylvanas is going to dominate out of the lane, but while you're in the laning phase, might be a little too susceptible to ganks. Is that a kit you're afraid of to gank as a jungler?
I think if you're picking Sylvanas, he needs to be for kill potential. So it needs to be a kill lane. That's why you pick the god, not for lane control, more of just when you're going all in for a kill. Because as you were saying, his clear's not very great, is it? But
shotgun smash in the back, landing on the back line for WootNCroco. Team Illusion on the backside of this fight. Shotgun smash picks up Rezu, the middle laner. Curco trying to make something happen, but a beautiful stun coming out from Zatarino. Gonna peel for himself with the ultimate. Not quite gonna hit the kill with the hammer. And a good Aegis, but that won't be enough. Dekest takes down will take down Zatarino as well as the Apollo. That's a 3-for-0 trade. WootNCroco, 25.5, 26 minutes into this contest, are looking to face the Fire Giant. They will take it down. Only member here to do anything is Hunbats. He has opted to come over. He's going to show himself. They know he's here. Taunt is good. Not enough. Hunbats only has Hog 1, so not really anything he could do there anyway. Even if he got the Fear No Evil off successfully, still would have been an uphill battle for him to go ahead and take that Fire Giant. WootNCroco take it. We'll call it uncontested as Hunbats ran away as fast as he did run in. And that's going to put the lead up even higher. 6,400 gold going the way of the red team, plus that Fire Giant buff. Where is their next play, iRapper?
They've got to push. If they get every single tier 2 tower and go back by, get ready for the next fight on the last 90 seconds or so of FGE, they can win it just off the gold alone. They don't even need the FG after that.
Yeah, not at all, but we'll take it nonetheless. And 3-man fighting over speed buff. Onher takes the speed buff right here, so well,
he's going to be a machine.
Thor has the blue buff. I really like this decision. Thor only has a Jotun's Wrath, so the blue buff is going to give him more cooldown reduction, which will allow him to use more control, whereas Onher will pick up the speed buff, obviously more in-hand attacks and movement speed. That's a decision made by WootNCroco that you honestly don't see too much, and I like it a lot.
I love it. At this point, you have to assess it and go, who's going to benefit more from the speed buff? A Thor for the movement speed, or a Anher for the movement speed plus attack speed? And Anher is going to be hitting so hard with the Fire Giant buff too.
Fire Giant buff, passive. Anher's got a powerful build with Devo gloves and Executioner. Ultimate coming out from Hunbats will be enough to spread out the team. He's on the back line, but he's all by himself. Kazfu zoned out pretty much by his own decision to be here and jump in. Forced to walk a long way around. I mean, they do have the Ra heal. They could go back in. Rahi
No,
and Fire
I mean
Giant
the
both.
blue team needs to
Oh, yeah.
disengage and just let this Phoenix drop now. They've blown all the cooldowns. They're not going to be able to fight this.
Yeah, that's the big difference between these two teams and these two comps right now is the re-engage from WootNCroco is just so big. You got the blue buff on Shotgun Smasher. He's going to be able to put out tons of walls and Berserker's Barrage, which do a lot of damage in these group fights. Moving on to the middle lane is WootNCroco, and just so much sustain coming out from Duquesne. Taking a look at his build, he doesn't have much cooldown reduction. All he has is Breastplate, and it's more than enough to keep his team up for an extended period of time.
Forever.
Pretty much. Shotgun Smash. He's Shotgun Smashes all by himself in the right-hand lane. His team does come over, but Resu picks up Tetrick. This could be bad for WootNCroco. Really poor positioning coming out. They've been spread. Caspu and another kill from the middle laner. They're looking at Mugiwawa. He's going to get away, but Caspu will chase. Looking for the overhand smash. Gets it. That is a tank. Mooklal picks up one, but Resu trades it right back. That's a triple kill for the Agni, evening up the kills one more time, 17 and 17. One more hit on Athena will be the kill, but they're not going to get it. Instead, Athena will make it out thanks to preemptive strike. And Gold Fury is up, but Team Illusion, smartly so, will go for the map pressure instead of the direct Gold Fury. Maybe after this tier 1 they'll grab it, but I love the decision to get the tower when there's nobody to defend it.
I would like to see a gold Fury after this tower. It's not just getting the gold for yourself, it's taking the gold from the opposing team. Because they're obviously going to win a team fight on how far ahead they are. So taking that gold away is a really, really good decision.
Yeah, I love this play. We usually see this play by teams that are up by absorbent amounts that just pick up the Gold Fury for no reason. This will actually help out Team Illusion as they are still down by about 6,700 gold. So they need to take this, but Mugiwawa enough to chase them away as Gamork is 20% HP. So really not able to do much here. Scared away by the only member of WootNCroco left with the Fire Giant buff.
Yeah, as I was saying earlier, if they went straight for the gold, they would have taken that gold off him, but it looks like it's going to go to the red team now.
Yeah, they really need to kill that Athena. One more hit. Could have kept the chase on. Monkey jump slows. Hunbat's jump will slow that Athena, so you do have the preemptive strike, but you have the slow. Could have been caught up. You have got the teleport with the Sacred Monkey, able to really do that. And unfortunately, a bad decision coming out from Team Illusion's jungler. We'll go ahead and give the Gold Fury to WootNCroco. 8,500 gold is their lead at the moment. And fantastic play from Team Illusion. That's exactly what they needed to do. They needed to play off of WootNCroco's comfort. They felt really comfortable. They were winning the game very hard. Still are, of course. But completely turned that fight around by splitting everybody up and paying attention to who to attack. That's what this team needs to do, especially since you're against the Ra. You need to use the Fear No Evil, and you need to use your Geb ultimate, and really spread the team out and create mayhem, because WootNCroco are depending on that re-engage comp.
Yeah, they're doing the excellent thing. They're forcing an FG, force them out. They've got plenty of wards. They know where they're coming from. They don't need to go all in on the FG because they can win a fight without it. Jan has put himself.
Yeah, the enemy hunter is going to go ahead and try and take out Tetrick. Tetrick's actually forced out, so that's going to be good, but the Duquesne 180 Celestial Beams and Resu going to fall down. Nuan in the air trying to get damage onto the on-her. Does. Not enough to kill, but Caspu turns that around and kills out the middle lane Scylla. Shotgun Smash taking a lot of aggression onto Gamork. He'll be alright as he shields himself, but that shield will be down for a little bit as Zanarino shocks and smashes the enemy jungler Thor falling to the wayside. As Mugiwawa picks up Caspu as well. A lot of damage, a lot of violence, folks. All in all, even trade. 2-on-2. Even in the numbers, but not even on the players. Level 20 on the left side, so that's going to be a big deal for Team Illusion to lose that member. 8,300 gold, still growing for WootNCroco.
The main thing is as well, they managed to defend the Phoenix, so it takes that pressure off too. But if they allow the red team to get the FG, then they're just going to take that Phoenix seconds after.
Ultimate coming out from Rod just for the damage on a Fire Giant. Fire Giant will fall, going the way of WootNCroco, as you mentioned. We do have that right lane Phoenix up at the moment. That is the one, that's not the first Phoenix you want to go to because it's the one on the side of Fire Giant. You actually want to go to the other side, but it's already dead. So it spawns at 50% health and will regen, and it always stays 50% power. So a quick walk over there by the on her safely, of course, would kill it. But they're going to play it safe, and they're going to head to the left lane and push down this together.
I like the decision to go for a tier 2. I think that's the best decision they could have made.
Oh yeah,
to go,
for sure. It's safer.
Go for this tier 2, take that, and then go straight to the left Phoenix. And try and force them out. If they don't come out, then just try and just keep poking at it, because they've got Anha who can pillar to zone, and they're not going to go past the pillar, because if they go past, it's guaranteed auto attacks and extra damage.
Yeah, and those on her basic attacks are just so strong, especially when you're standing in the sand. You get a bonus damage from the on her when you do stand in the sand. So you want to be careful of that. Good stun coming out from the Agni. Gonna chase out the jump from Tetrix, so that jump will be down for about 10 more seconds. Taking a look at the rest of the team, you've got 1-1 in the middle lane. It's Thor versus Hun Bats. Funny how the positions are still mirroring each other, while the rest of the team winds up at the right-hand Phoenix. This isn't the one that's been down yet, so this is a full HP Phoenix. Thor going to the middle lane, looks like he wants to split push himself.
I like that decision.
Yeah, but he's going to turn tail, turn the fight, landing on the back line. Great ultimate, going to stun 3. WootNCroco could come out like a shotgun barrel. A lot of damage coming out, but no kills. Change that. MJK picks up Resu. He's going to look for more. Crush onto Gamork, get a great wall, going to block off Kurko, forcing him to sidestep just a little bit, slowing, but keeping him in the fight. 5 members of WootNCroco still here. Down goes the Phoenix, as we mentioned. That's not the Phoenix they killed before. That will be a brand new Phoenix with brand new HP. We're going to clear this one, and we'll see the typewriter strat just from right to left, left to right, even on down, and the disengage coming out from WootNCroco. Play your lead. Be confident. Do not let the lead play you. Don't be overconfident.
I think they can fight again. With the sustain off Ra and the FGE passive, I'm not sure, because the mana's pretty low on Thor. I think he should get his blue buff, which he does.
It was the mana that really threw me off from that fight. I think they definitely should fight, especially with the comp that they have. It's just a matter of mana and other resources. That said, mana's alright. Blue buff on Thor, so he'll be slowly ticking up mana. Might not be enough, but it's here for the moment.
Yeah, I think at this point in the game, you should back off, go buy their items, go gold, and take the speed. Or if they're not going to take the speed, at least bait the Hun Bats to come and take it so you can get the pick, and then it's a almost guaranteed Phoenix after that. With the Hun Bats ultimate down, they've easily got the team fight. They're going to see Thor engaging on this.
Good ultimate coming out from MJK. He's very low, so he's going to have to be careful, especially with Hun Bats coming out in the back line. Overhead smash will miss, but he'll get it with the basics. The Kess trades immediately along with Resu. It's going to be a 2-for-1 trade going the way of Team Illusion, but they're still fighting. And that's going to force the retreat from WootNCroco. They're able to heal on their with their gold Fire Giant buff, but not able to make use of the Ra heal this time around. Solar Blessing going to bless nobody in particular. And that's a disengage from WootNCroco. Fantastic defense coming out from Team Illusion. What forced that? Was it the Hun Bats ultimate?
I think it was the Thor ultimate. He forced a lot of stuff he didn't need to at that point. He just needs to back off and force a fight at the speed buff. You're almost guaranteed a pick on the Hun Bats if he comes to defend it. And if the whole team goes on it, just go all in. You've got the FG buff and you're 12k ahead.
So even when you're ahead, you're sort of like trying to bait your enemy into making mistakes more than you are making plays.
Of course, with a lead, it pressures the opposition to do something unless they go full defense.
Gold trade pulled by WootNCroco.
I don't like the decision on gold. I think they should get the most out of the FG buff at the minute. Take the speed, the blue buff, and push the Phoenix again. Because if the more pressure they put on the right hand side lane, it's gonna collapse the other 2 Phoenixes, or make them go and defend it so you can go all in on the last Phoenix.
Ra making his way over to the solo lane. On the right side of the map at the very least. Fire Giant has since spawned within the minute, so we'll see a fight over this most likely. WootNCroco sitting here looking for somebody from Team Illusion to pay for. Good stun coming out from both Thor and Agni. Remote stuns coming out from Agni from a distance. So this looks like the engage onto the Fire Giant from WootNCroco. Team is playing it very safe. Should be able to disengage if needed. Mugiwawa comes in. Thor's in the air waiting. This is a satellite ult again. Looking for what's going on. Not really looking for an engagement. And that will secure the Fire Giant.
Yeah, you see at this point in the game, blue team is still managing to get the red buff, even being 15k behind. They shouldn't be allowed to do that. The red buff is so good at this point in the game.
Yeah, we were talking, it could be close to 80 magical power right now. I'll have to take a look at that, but right now all I can see is this Hunbat's ultimate. Team Illusion going absolutely insane, working off that Fear No Evil so well. There's that high damage coming out from Zanarino's Nuwa we were talking about earlier. Dekes taking him out. Finally, his abilities are not global. Dekes will get a double kill as he takes out another member of that team. 2-for-2 trade at the moment, and again, we will find Team Illusion deterred from taking this Phoenix.
Blue team would have just won that fight if they didn't waste the Hunbat's ultimate and the Jeb ultimate, because when Jeb ulted, he hit 2 people and no one was there. It's a CC, you need to use that CC to collapse onto people. I just think it's a bit wasted when you use the CC just for the plain damage and that's it.
I 100% agree. There's so much potential. It's starting the fight with that ability, so I definitely I definitely agree with that. It's not always about the damage. Both Phoenixes have fallen. Looking at the left Phoenix, this one hasn't fallen yet, so it will be harder to kill this time around. No 50% power for you.
Oh, that Ra beam just taking half of Agni's health.
A single celestial beam takes Razu down to half health, and a single ultimate puts Kirku from about 100 to 10% HP. This Ra is absolutely feeling himself. He's very farmed. 9, 2, and 7 base. Actually, he is full build with 100 stacks on that Warlock Sash. So, and he actually just went home, picked up both a 450 pot and a 3000 pot. This guy is ahead.
He's gonna one-shot someone with that ultimate, I swear.
Yes.
That's the power of Ra, though. He has a heal and incredible burst damage, so...
Yep. Team Illusion, at the moment, 40 minutes into this match, kills are tied exactly 23-23. Team Illusion not so lucky on the other side of things. WootNCroco leading by about 13.5, just shy of 14,000 gold difference. Experience also going the way of the team in red, 29, maybe 30, maybe 2,900, maybe 3,000 experience ahead is WootNCroco. So looking very good despite a very even kill line.
Yeah, I would love to see him force something with the FG buff now. They've taken his Phoenix down before, so it's going to be really easy to nuke it. Even if they keep poking at it from the side with Anher.
Yes,
with the Ra heal.
With the 50% health and 50% power, this one shouldn't be a big problem. Already about 50% down, as we said, and that's it, dead. Rasu tried to get something going, and a great 180 dash. That, he avoided many CCs with that dash. Up in the air is Zetarantia, and he will aggress on the honor. He's got a good stun. Can he land it though? He might not be able to, but Kirko will be able to land the in-hand attacks for the kill. Ultimate comes out from Ra. That one will miss, and Apollo's going to dunk down into the Monkey ultimate. Good ultimate coming out from MJK to kill Kirko, but not enough to secure the second or third kill on that character. So interesting stuff coming out, but all in all, not successful.
I think this game's over now. We've got all the fire minions swarming in.
Titan's down to 50% now. All it takes is a couple of people to pay attention to it, and that will fall as well. Very close game as far as the kills are concerned, but huge difference when it comes to everything else. 15,000 gold in the lead for WootNCroco. Playing amazingly is the team in the red, and like I said, 42 minutes on the clock. That will be the game.
That was a really close game. It was so good to watch that game. It's fun.
Yeah, it was fun. It was a lot of fun. One thing I liked about it is, and this goes more to the play style of Team Illusion, the blue team. They were down. I just talked about how much they were down. We take a look at the gold totals, and it was 86,000 to 102,000. That's just shy of 20,000 gold. That's about 15,000 gold. But Team Illusion was still playing fantastic defense. They were playing under that Phoenix. And it was those decisions that really made it so close.
Yeah, I don't think they should be disheartened by that game they just had. They just need to keep their heads held high. We defended against an FGE. Let's just watch the replay, see what we did wrong, and try and change it for next week.
Yeah, a lot of positives coming out for Team Illusion, just not enough to eke the win out of WootNCroco, who will be moving on to the next round right here in our EU Challenger Cup. This is week 6, so we're going to semifinals, folks. Agilitas will fight the team that we just saw, and Potato Boys will take Disco Ninjas. We're going to see that play next, so stay tuned and check out your Potato Boys, Sun Touch's team, and Disco Ninjas is Kewen's team, so go ahead in chat, raise your favorite player. We will see you soon. Stay tuned for more Smite action.